What is up, everyone? I'm Jordan, JKU390, and today is a special day. Today is the 10-year anniversary of this YouTube channel, TrueFriendsGaming, and I don't really have anything prepared, I don't have anything scripted, I don't really know what to say, so I'm just kind of talk and see what happens. So we'll just go back to the beginning then. Don't expect anything like spectacular to come from this video. It's probably just going to be me rambling or ranting or reminiscing or whatever else I do that begins with the letter R as we wait. So for any of you that do remember, back in 2011, there was an old streaming site. It was before Twitch and all of that, before a lot of the streaming sites. It was called ingame.tv, and it was a gaming site where people went and they streamed. Unfortunately, it eventually got taken down. I don't know if it was a licensing error or what, but it got bought out by a website called Battlecam, which was complete and utter garbage. But anyway, on that site, I met a lot of really cool people who eventually became the members of this channel, and actually our first community, which was called the Alliance of Acquaintances. But we met a bunch of friends there, and that's where I met Kevin and Kirk, who are the two people I started this channel with, as well as a lot of the people that eventually became members of TrueFriendsGaming. We just streamed together every day starting June 22nd, 2011, all the way up until the site got shut down in October. And then from there we moved to actually a lot of sites before finally stopping on JTV, which became Twitch. It was July 14th, I was finally like, you know what, we need some place online that we can kind of put our stuff, because I like making these streams, I like hanging out with everybody, I'd like to be able to record stuff, and then go back in, a year, 2 years, 5 years maybe, and be like, oh yeah, there was me and my live stream friends, and here we are 10 years later, I can still do that, which is really cool. So yeah, I talked to Kevin and Kirk, and I was like, we need to make a YouTube channel. Nobody will probably find it, and if we do, our focus whenever we stream is to try and make people happy, because it makes us happy, so let's spread the love. I talked to him, we tried to come up with a name, and all I knew is I was like, I want it to be something encompassing with the friendship idea, the idea that it's a group of friends and people that come into our community can be friends and we can all hang out, be happy, enjoy ourselves. Because again, that was, to this day, I mean, we couldn't anymore because of the sub requirement, but we've never monetized TrueFriendsGaming. We always said we weren't going to, whatever. And that goes on to another thing I'm going to rant about in a minute, where YouTube is forcing ads onto every channel, but that's another topic. So back to TrueFriendsGaming. Yeah, I was like, I want it to be something like that. So Kevin suggested the name TrueFriendsGaming. And I sat and I was like, I don't know. And the TFG name sounds kind of cool. Be like, oh, this is TFG. TrueFriendsGaming, it's kind of a long name. Who knows what it means? But we went with it. So then Kirk went, just to make sure all three of us were incorporated, and made the channel. Twice, because the first time he misspelled TrueFriendsGaming. There is a TrueFriendsGaming channel out there spelt with G-A-M-E-I-N-G. Probably been deleted by now, but that was a thing that did exist. We knew we wanted to do stuff like Left 4 Dead and make Let's Plays and stuff on games like that, and then Aegis Wing, and basically kind of just work our way down. We wanted to do things like Halo, Gears of War, all of those games, which now we've done stuff with Halo. We've never done any Gears content. We've streamed a lot of Gears. So we ended up starting out doing a lot of solo stuff. I did my Fire Emblem Let's Play, which did alright. We had, back on Endgame, we actually had a pretty large surplus of viewers. Now, unfortunately, we didn't really advertise our YouTube channel to them. We didn't talk about it or anything, just if people found it, they found it. But the ones that actually did hear about it are newest, and we talked about it whenever we made the channel. We started out with 20 subs, which for us was awesome, because if you look at our channel now, YouTube would consider TrueFriendsGaming as a channel, in terms of what it's done, a failure. Because the channel has been on for 10 years. We have over 2,000 videos where and that's including private, unlisted, and of course deleted. There's entire series that have been deleted from either copyright reasons or mainly copyright is usually the reasons we'd get rid of stuff. We never actually just delete content for the sake of. But anyway, yeah, we had our solo content. I did the Fire Emblem thing, like I said. Kevin was doing, I think he was doing Pokemon Emerald, I think was his first Let's Play, and then he moved on to doing Chrono Trigger, which was our first stream. But that's beside the point. And then Kirk did Tales of Vesperia several times. That one is one of the series that's gone because of copyright reasons, because he included the anime intro as his intro for the videos every time, so we had to get rid of that. We started out doing a lot of that stuff, and then we ended up getting to things like Left 4 Dead, and we realized we still really like to do the group dynamic stuff. There's a lot more work. I did the audio editing back then, Kirk did the video editing, where now it's just I do all of the editing for pretty much every project. But it worked. We went down the pipeline of all kinds of stuff. And back then when we had to record, it sucked. We went through 3 different programs to be able to make it where it was editable. We would take the raw footage of what we recorded, and then we would make it where it would be a file type that we could actually use on here. And then the audio, luckily we had Audacity, which is now going to crap because of all the stuff going on right now with that, with spyware and it being bought by the Muse company, who I also have a problem with from a musical side of things because I liked MuseScore, a site they also own, and they ruined, in my opinion. So we went through all kinds of different programs and stuff just to kind of compress and make everything where it was actually editable. So if you look at the old content, it looks bad to begin with. Yeah, it looks bad. It's like very compressed, and it looks almost foggy for a lot of that stuff. My Fire Emblem LP, you can hear like a constant click in the background of everything. Everybody always called it the fapping noise, but it was, yeah, it's just this constant like tick, 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 going on the entire time in the background from the compression. And yeah, that was how we did stuff back then. And then we ended up adding other people that we knew that also joined us in the streams on in-game, which were, we added Matt and Tyler, which were Upside Down Grunt, and Tarvidi. And then we had our group of 5. So we started doing stuff, and we were like, you know what, we need an artist. We started talking about that for a while, and then in between that, our friend Kyle joined us, who Chibi Kai, also met on in-game. He was actually the last person we met on there. We met him in October on in-game, and it wasn't much longer after that they shut down the website, unfortunately. So we talked to one of our friends in the Alliance of Acquaintances, another person once again that streamed with us, Alex, and he's like, oh yeah, I know somebody, blah blah blah, and we talked to him, and we met our friend Elik. Then Alex and Elik both joined the TrueFriendsGaming, who unfortunately neither of them are actually technically in the group anymore. Alex plays games and stuff a lot, like we see him on all the time, but he just hasn't really replied, so we're just assuming he's gone. And then Elik, on the other hand, I talked to him like 2 days ago. He sent me a new band. He's like, hey, check this band out I listen to. And I work with him on a lot of projects outside of TrueFriendsGaming. Like, he does a lot of animations and art, and if he needs somebody to do audio or music or things like that, I'm usually the person he comes to. Or extra voices or things like that. And he's, of course, was a main character in my Machinima series. I mean, it is a Machinima, but I'm putting quotes on it because I don't know. I don't consider it a series. Solus. So then after that, we ended up being like, you know what, we need another artist. And then in the meantime of working on that, we got our friend James, who also part of the old in-game group, joined. We don't really see him as much. He was in stuff like a few months ago. He was in it for a good while where he started appearing, and then it just didn't happen as much. And then we met Ricardo through Elik, our old artist. He's like, oh yeah, this is my friend Ricardo, and I hung out with him for a while. We ended up talking about all kinds of just weird stuff we liked. He watched me play Halo whenever Master Chief Collection came out, so he could see the Halo 2 anniversary graphics, which was, I think it was 2014 was when he watched that. And so we did a lot of cool stuff with that, and we kind of just were talking. It was him, Tyler, and me. And Tyler and I were talking about needing an artist and stuff, and he's like, well, you know, I can art, which we knew he could art, obviously. He's a freaking amazing artist, but I'm not going to tell him I know that, although he knows I know that because I watched him art. But anyway, we're like, oh, weird. I didn't think of that possibility. Maybe we should have Ricardo join. So Ricardo joined, and now he doesn't really do as much art. All the branding art on the channel is all his. The outline with the thumbnails and stuff that I put the thumbnail together, but the outline is his. He did all that stuff, which is great. That's pretty much what we mainly needed was branding. So he did that, but the main things that now he's a regular member of the channel, so we do all kinds of fun stuff with Ricardo as well. And then we talked to other people, and you're like, we probably need somebody to help with art even more. So naturally, we had Shar, my girlfriend, who she does she does visual art. She sings, she's one of those all-encompassing art styles she can do. And because I've known her since before in-game, since before I streamed. Like, I wouldn't have probably met TFG if in part I hadn't known her. She's like, yeah, I should be in the channel anyway. I've been around before the channel existed, kind of tongue-in-cheek joking. And we just happened to be talking. She was here with me, and Eric, Kirk's best friend, was at Kirk's house back in New York. We're like, Kirk and Eric stream together all the time. That could probably just become some type of dynamic because they do a lot of stuff together, and they have their little conversations people seem to like. So we'll try and utilize that concept. So that happened, and then she's like, oh, but I'm not. And I was like, oh yeah, and Shark can join too. So then in 2020, our friend group was complete of all 12 people that over the years have been part of TFG. Now it's the 10, without Alex and Elik, who, if they ever wanted to come back and do stuff, they're more than welcome. In fact, we played Among Us with Elik not that long ago, so technically I guess he's been in streams and stuff, but that's besides the point. Anyway, that's all 12 members that have been part of TrueFriendsGaming, the 10 current ones. I don't know where I'm going to put that in this video. I'm just talking. God, I have no idea how many hours of editing I've had. If you consider there's 2,000 videos, and each video even took me like 30 minutes, which isn't the case, by the way. There's some stuff like some of our Dungeons and Dragons stuff that takes 6 to 8 hours, or some of our big group things where, I've got like 8 vocal tracks, 8 video tracks, and then I've got the assets for the top for our nameplates, our intros, our outros, those can take days. Especially if I'm adding other stupid stuff to it and cutting out a bunch of noises and coughs and weird stuff like that we don't need and trying to compress it into a file that literally no one's going to watch except for me. But I like that nostalgia. I like that existing in the world where I can find it again. And then if somebody else just happens to come by it, cool. So apart from being a fail, there's so many cool things that happen. Back in 2016, we met a group that we referred to as the Saturday Morning Gamers, where we had Scott Dog Gaming, who I still play games with. We have an ongoing series right now. Met Jesse, player 2 insert coin, and now he's got his fiancee Brittany, who we've also, or actually wife now, I think, Brittany, who we've done stuff with. Genuine Parts, Kalathra. Jolly Frog, unfortunately, haven't really talked to her as much lately. Martin, Sir Night Owl, Oystabix, Rob, we haven't talked to him in a long time. Rich, the English gamer himself, the guy who in our group jumped from, he got to celebrate his 100 subs, like being like, oh, I'm there now, and then he played My Summer Car and jumped up to 25,000 subs, and then it became too like over-encompassing, and he kind of closed his channel down, and he made like 3 more cents, but it's too much stress, I guess, for him. So, which is a good thing, I guess we never had to deal with that. Dox his real name in case he doesn't go by it, but Beautiful OB, who also his channel erupted insanely, and now he's a child entertainer YouTuber, as in his content is aimed for much younger audiences, and his numbers are now in the millions of subscribers, where he does stuff with, crashing cars and stuff, and like Roblox and things, and he's aimed more for the toddler to young, under preteen demographic. And probably hundreds of other people that I forgot. We met Vivian. She's now very, very successful in terms of making pins, as in like she'll make like a group of, she'll go to Kickstarter and make Halo pins. So she'll have like 15 different things that are related to Halo. They're like a Spartan helmet, or it's like a little pin that you can hook onto your shirt or whatever. I mean, unfortunately, we've lost people along the ways, but we met Angel X Mikey, who unfortunately had several diseases throughout his life, and he didn't make it. But he's somebody whose channel erupted. A lot of people that know him probably know him for doing some of the animated videos for the Game Grumps channel. There are so many friends and people we've met through True Friends Gaming, and there are people who have messaged, especially in the early years, who are like, hey, I've been depressed, or hey, something's been wrong, or hey, life kind of sucks, and I found your videos. I found your Fire Emblem video that sounds like there's somebody just sorry. It sounds like somebody's like masturbating in the background the entire time, and I made my day. It helped. It made me smile. The positivity came from, stuff like that. I don't want to drop his full name. I'll say Will is one of the people he was the first person that had that reaction to something. So I called him on Skype, and it was really cool to hang out with somebody who felt helped. I felt like I did something for somebody by playing a video game. And this, again, is 2011. This isn't like now where there's people, it's like, yeah, I have 4 billion subscribers and I play Roblox. This is like, I played Fire Emblem, and I was doing a no-death run, and I was just I was reading the stuff and making jokes about the characters. And the fact that it helped somebody was insane. So I got to talk to him for a while, and it was really cool. And he's somebody that's kind of every now and then pops back into streams and stuff, and then we talk to him. So that's really cool. That's probably my best memory, or my favorite memory in True Friends Gaming, is knowing that it helped somebody. And then, yeah. All right, I'm back. Sorry about that. I don't know where I was going with that one. But anyway, that was a tangent, a run, a rant, a ramble, rabble rouser. I don't know what it was, but it was something. And yeah, I'm good now. So True Friends Gaming, in terms of it being a failure, no, I think it's done some cool stuff. I've gotten a lot out of it. I've definitely put in a lot into it. Usually people think of the streams and stuff, they might think of Kirk first, because for the most part, like until I've got this PC, which I actually got from Kirk, who I finally got to meet for the first time in December of 2020, if it would have been, like a month later, which, by the way, we did spend New Year's there, and we went back since. We've been in New York now twice to hang out with Kirk and our friend Aaron in New Jersey. And I got to meet Jeff, who's another person we met on in-game. We've met so many people. There's 2 people in our Discord that I didn't know were in our Discord that I got to meet when I was in New Jersey. So I just looked over at our stats for where TFG would be if we'd never lost any subs or viewers or anything over the years. And the thing you gotta remember about True Friends Gaming is a lot of our viewers came in waves. There was the first wave, which was the in-game wave. You know, that was where we had our biggest amount of people ever. You know, we had like, we'll say 100 people watching our streams. And we lost like 80% of that whenever we started doing YouTube stuff and when the channel went down. And then some of which, by the way, we've kind of met random people over the years that were like, oh, hey, we know you from in-game. And they're like, oh, yeah, blah, 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 like Fall Reload or some other channels that kind of vanished and then they came back to life. And there's trying, like Nerd Junkies that are trying to make a comeback. That's really cool. But anyway, we had our first following on Twitch. We had like a second and third wave on Twitch and things like that. And those are usually the people that kind of cluster to our content and watch for a while and then they're gone. It's just after we stop streaming for a while, they forget about us or they just don't care where the content's going or whatever, you know, their own reasons. But so right now it shows we have 908 subscribers, which if you look at our between today, which is the 14th of July and like June 1st, actually probably, let's see, back to January mainly, like this whole year, the whole 2021 so far, we've just been jumping back and forth between like 903 to 910. Just constantly going between those numbers. Like we're like gaining and losing at accelerated rates and it's weird and I don't get it, but whatever. But yeah, so we've actually lost 540 subscribers that they have calculated. So we've almost lost as many followers as we have. So we would actually have 1,148 subscribers right now. If either people didn't leave or there's a pretty big number. I say a relatively large size number of people whose channels have been deleted or have been removed. Some of them I don't really know. It looks like nobody left on the sub feed, so that's cool. Nobody just was on their feed and was like, you know what? No. It looks like everybody did was nice enough to at least go to our channel before they pulled the kill switch. And that, again, those are numbers. I don't know. It's whenever we had our first 100 subscriber milestone, I knew the username of every one of the people that were subbed to us. And, you know, I'd acknowledge, in fact, God, I hope I didn't, but I might have actually acknowledged all of them by name in our first 100 sub video. And the ones that commented regularly, you know, I'd always talk to them because they were going to say something, they were going to respond or whatever. I have a lot of stuff I like to make. Honestly, my favorite things I've been enjoying making now have actually been live action stuff. Don't get me wrong, I'm a gamer at heart. You know, I've got a Xbox 360, an Xbox One, and a PS2 right here. And then, of course, a PC all encompassing this whole side. And then there's a room over there that's got the Genesis, the PS1, and everything in between all the way up. Actually, a GameCube might be in this room, but the 64, nope, all that crap is in there. But a lot of the stuff I like to make is things that I can interact with a lot of the other members. Like, I liked the stuff where we met in person, and we get to just walk around and do stuff. Or I like the stupid vlog videos we do. Those are actually fun. Even the things like we've been doing this thing lately where we're kind of making like a, I don't know what the word is, but it's kind of like, Kirk referred to it as the Marvel Cinematic Universe of card unboxing, but all of our characters are like parodies of card unboxers. Like I've got my character, which is Dickhole Garrett, you know, so it's like the joke is, it's like Nicole, but with a D, but his name is Dick Hole, obviously. But Char picked up some cereal. You know, I like Cocoa Puffs and she has a lot of stuff she likes, but they had Pokemon cards in them. And she's like, you know what, we both enjoy Pokemon. Well, pretty much everybody, for the most part, I think in one way or another, if they were in the age, enjoys something with Pokemon. And so she got those, and there's trading cards in it. I was like, what if I made a stupid video with it? What if we just like went ham and just kind of acted what in my mind the big card unboxers are? Because there's different personality types. If you watch True Friends Gaming, you're probably not going to find a lot of, whoa, what's it? You know, it's going to be, oh, crap. That's going to be the main reactions you're going to get, unfortunately. Like, if you have, like, scary videos, Ricardo, Kirk, Char, they're going to freak out, they're going to scream. Even Tyler might have, like, a thing. Whenever it's something for me, all of my reactions are, like, internal. So whenever I have something scary, I'm just like, oh, crap. That scared me. And that's it. You know, there's nothing else to really talk about with it. It's not going to do anything for anybody. But the people that are definitely over the top, which are going to probably bring in a lot more viewers because they do have more excitable personalities, and people tend to gravitate towards that. At least more outgoing people tend to gravitate towards that. And it's one of those things where in my mind is like, okay, how can I be what in my mind is somebody who is outgoing as somebody who is an introvert. So what would be like over the top excited and freaking out? It doesn't matter what it is. Like, here's a picture of a sticker and it's the coolest thing I've ever seen in my entire life. You know, I want to try and be that character, and I mixed like that and the idea of what like the 90s persona of like this is a 90s gangster rapper. Like I know who Eminem is in the 90s. I'm going to be that guy. I went on another tangent again. I might have cut it out, who knows. But basically I like making content where it's a bunch of people doing stupid stuff, like our cinematic universe of card unboxers. And I like doing things like we had this video which was basically just a question and answer thing of like how well TFG knows each other, which I think is still our featured video. Yeah, that's going to be the one I had featured. It's got to be, because it has all 10 members in it. And it's just me talking to each member and being like, hey, when's my birthday? Do you know? Because which one's my true friend? What's my favorite foods? What do I eat? You know, things like that. And most of the time, because I've got a pretty decent memory since everything else on me sucks, I generally know a lot about everybody, and they might not know as much as they thought or had hoped about me. But that's okay. It's not that it's an issue. It's more just one of those things that I was curious to see how it would go. And it was a lot of fun to make. I'd like to do more stuff like that in the future as well. Machinimas. I would love to do more scripted series, like writing out something, but I would love to be able to do it in a live action sense. And of course, because we're all, you know, Shar and I live in Indiana, Kirk and Eric live in New York, Ricardo and Tyler live in California. Kyle lives in, well, I don't know if Kyle wants me to say where he lives, but he lives East Coastish. Matt lives in the UK. James lives in Canada. It's not really possible for us all to come together and be like, hey, let's film something. So stuff like I'm going to have to use either video game characters as avatars or do something with webcams or, again, animation would be cool, but there's no way that's going to happen. That's going to take hours and hours and hours of manpower, and it's going to cost. When I'm a machinima, I can sit down and I can create this entire world and do all this stuff by myself, which I guess is what I'll have to do. But I would love to have or tell more stories and joke series and comedies and things like that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'd like to do more scripted stuff like that. I think that'd be a lot of fun. Because it's a way to kind of bring everybody in, but everybody doesn't have to be there at the same time, because we're all, if we're not in our 30s, we're getting close to our 30s. And unfortunately, it's not as easy as whenever we were all, technically speaking, teenagers. Like I said, I was 19. Kyle and Matt were in their 20s already. But everybody else was, you know, Kirk was 16, Kevin was 15, Tyler was 16. Everybody was young. And now it's not necessarily as easy to have all of us around. So here we are now, 10 years later, doing whatever we do. Yeah, I've been talking for 40 minutes now, and I have no idea what I'm going to use, where I'm going to put it, what I'm going to cut out, or anything. This is just going to be horrible, probably, if I'm completely honest with you. I don't know where anything's going, but I'll figure that out whenever I edit this, and if it comes out in time, it's already 5:30 p.m., so it's got to come out today. But a lot of stuff has happened. Thinking back, you know, I finished college, obviously. I did 5 years of university. I got degrees in history and sociology. Pretty much everybody in TFG did some type of, if they didn't have some type of schooling, they got some type of certification, or they tried and attempted college and it just didn't work for them or whatever. I've got four niblets, as they would be the group of. I've got three nephews and a niece. It's a weird security blanket, TrueFriendsGaming. Whenever you have a bunch of friends online, who I would say that'd be like, oh yeah, friends that you'll never have to worry about meeting or seeing or whatever, which is not the case anymore. I've met Kirk, I've met Eric, I've met Kyle, I've met Jeff, I've met Dimitri, I've met Joe. We've met people now. I've got friends that are in another musical group I met. I've met 2 of them. But the idea, I guess, that they're online, it's not face to face. You're not looking at somebody. Well, sometimes you are if you're in a face cam or whatever. But if it's just through voice or just through typing, you realize a lot of the crap going on in people's lives, and you have a good group of people to talk to. It's, especially for people that are introverted, it's a very, very helpful thing. I remember when we first started, it probably is still a thing if you type in TrueFriendsGaming, but I remember when we first did it, when I was checking if there was a channel with the name TrueFriendsGaming, which there wasn't, so we got it. Because obviously nobody wants that name. But you type in, and there was always a thing that's like, online friend, or it's like, or online friends, real friends, or something like that was the name of the file. And it's been a decade. Yeah, I would say that online friends are real friends. And now that I've met some of them in real life and we were friends and hung out and hugged and whatever else, yeah, I'd say online friends are real friends. Um, if you can talk to them daily for a decade and you can, in your worst times, unload everything onto them and they can do the same for you and everybody can be happy and supportive of each other, yeah, I would say that online friends can probably be some of the best friends. And not saying that real life friends aren't like that as well. I've got great like real life, but I'm at that point in my life now that so many have married or moved or they got to other parts in their lives that now we don't really interact anymore. And of course we can talk online, but then are they online friends or are they still real life friends? I don't know. But yeah, I'd say online friends are probably some of the best long-term rest of your life as long as people use the same sites. I mean, obviously people I've known in like 2001 on AIM probably don't talk to them anymore. Like the 2003 freaking Rooster Teeth, the Red vs. Blue forums. Those, they're probably not there anymore or like talking anymore because I've been filming for like 50 minutes and I've just been talking for like 50 minutes and I want to convert this into like a couple minute long video. I guess I'm just going to kind of get to what I'm getting at with this channel. TrueFriendsGaming is 10 years old, the YouTube channel. I've had a group of online friends for over a decade. I talk to them regularly. We're there for each other in our worst times. We support each other in our best times. We've met people that we've been able to help. We've met people that have been able to help us. We've made other groups of friends. We've met so many groups of friends. We've had so many people we've met who hung out with. Other people that we've met through different games and kind of brought in and talked to us. We have friends we met on freaking Omegle. Like that's a site where you just, the worst people. I mean, obviously there's good people there too, but there's people there that they're questioning motives and what they're looking for. But we've had so much random crap the last decade. And I would like to see TrueFriendsGaming do another 10 years whenever we're at, maybe 1,000 subs finally. Then YouTube can be like, you know what? Good job, TFG. You did something. That was them hitting our shoulder, by the way. And if we don't ever get 1,000, that's great. But I did have that be our goal. I want it to be by the end of the 10 years of TrueFriendsGaming. I would like to see, so I guess this time next year in 2022, I'd like to see 1,000 subs. If we can do that, that would be awesome. If not, we didn't do it. But yeah, I want to make a lot more content. I still have a lot of stuff I want to do. A lot more live action stuff. Like I said, I'd like to do a lot more our personality. Because again, there's so many personalities on YouTube that are people that are excited and over the top and happy, extreme sides of the personality. And we're so dull and blah. So we don't really get that. And we've never advertised ourselves really. We tried once. Regardless, yeah, so that probably didn't really pay off. But other than that, we haven't really advertised TrueFriendsGaming or anything. So I don't see us really getting to 1,000 unless people just naturally find us. But with 4 billion YouTube channels out there, it's going to be a lot harder. So I don't really have a conclusion for this video. If I did, I guess the idea would be if you are doing YouTube for fun and you enjoy doing it and you've met cool people through different software or different online servers or forums or Discord or Skype or God, whatever else they have now. I think Google Plus is dead, Facebook camera, whatever. Don't let it detract you if your channel doesn't perform well. 1 in every 3. No, TrueFriendsGaming is a 10-year-old channel. We started in 2011, back when people would be like, if we started back then, we'd be huge now. We've been doing this for 10 years. Our channel is still very much unknown. I very well might be the only person that watches this video, including the other members of TrueFriendsGaming. I might be the only person. But don't let that dissuade you. Don't let that make you stop if you enjoy it. If you love doing it and you've got the time to do it, when I say time, I don't mean like, oh, you're free forever. I mean, if you have like an hour in a day and you're like, you know what? I don't know what I want to do. I'm going to play a game and record it. Great. Next day, if you have an hour, edit it. Or if you're like our buddy Scott, he just takes the whole video and clumps it, cuts it up, and just uploads that as is. Like he has a full format video where I like to hyper focus cut stuff out because I don't know. I like, well, it depends on what it is, I guess. But with our group stuff, I like to be able to kind of do that and focus more on the chemistry between us as friends, more so than the game. I've always thought of the game as a backdrop to conversation, if that makes sense. Like the videos aren't about like playing Gmod TTT. We're talking about TTT sometimes, but the game is not, or the video, in my opinion, is not who wins TTT. It's the stupid conversation, because there's 400,000 channels playing TTT. It's the conversations amongst the TFG people that are happening in that video is what I always focus on. But hopefully throughout the rest of this year, I'm going to be having different things come out of 10 years of TFG stuff. Like I want to have a big compilation video of our last 10 years of crap. Just random stuff, see what happens. Don't give up if you enjoy YouTube. That was kind of my conclusion piece. If you have fun doing it and you want to make more, even if nobody watches, nobody comments, nobody likes, nobody favorites. I mean, if somebody's sitting there and you're just constantly being bullied and you're like, you know what, I don't want to do this. I understand that one a bit more. In fact, I just make a new channel and they probably won't find it because there's so many people on here. But just, block them, ban them. Don't worry about them. If you love doing it, even if you don't care if it's not bringing in a profit or, things like that, do it. TrueFriendsGaming is a thing that I'm not going to lie, there are times where I've considered stopping TFG. Where again, I'd be like, you know what? Nobody else in the group really seems to care right now. But everybody's busy. They've got their own life. People have their own life they've got to live. And they're focused on that. So I'm the only person that's going to be doing anything for the next year, maybe. So if I just kind of stop now, probably no one will notice. Maybe I should do that, and then but then I get back and I'm like, you know what? I have fun. So I'm going to make more stuff, and then if somebody likes it, cool. If they don't, cool. I had fun doing what I wanted to do. So that is my conclusion. Do what you love. Don't let people stop you from doing it, even if the algorithm tells you that your channel is garbage and isn't going to send anybody that way. Make the best of what you have, obviously. Fulfill your obligations. If you have jobs, family, focus those. Those are important. But hobbies and your free time, those are important. You need to make sure you're doing stuff that makes you happy as well. So if it's something like this, do it. I'm glad I've done this for a decade. I'm glad that I've got so many people I've met. I'm glad that this is now a resume I have. People are like, because a thing I like to edit, and I would love to be a full-time video editor for YouTube channels or something. Again, I would have to have one closer to ours. I like having somebody screaming the entire time. It's like, good, edit that. I probably couldn't put up with that as much, but just having somebody be like, hey, I'm looking for an editor for my channel. I need this, 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 and this. I'd be like, oh, well, here's 10 years of content. Tell me what you think. It's a pretty cool resume to have. So this could help me sometime in the future. And I've used it. I've had work through doing this. I've done audio engineering. I've done video editing. I've done voice acting. I've done all kinds of things that I've technically gotten paid for. So I've actually done multiple jobs through TrueFriendsGaming that I guess is a way I can be like, oh, look, I did actually make money. In fact, we're at a time now where we have viewers that are younger than our channel, which is sad. But it's true. And yeah, that's just one of those things that happens, I guess. Time's moving very, very quickly. So yeah, do what you love. Do what you want. I'm going to end this video. It's been an hour that I've been recording. I have no idea what I'm going to do with this. But until next time, everyone, later.